Amelia decides to return to the studio, and Jamie is there to support her along the way. A peaceful morning, and a strange thought returns. Amelia opens the kitchen window. The morning sun filters through the thin mist, illuminating the warm wooden floor. The three girls are eating breakfast. Jamie makes coffee. The cheerful sounds of breakfast. The youngest's laughter. The sound of a spoon hitting a bowl. Jamie telling a story from last night. But in Amelia's mind, there's another sound, an old melody, echoing like someone gently tapping a memory. A melody she wrote before she became a mother. She stops, her spoon hanging in the air. Jamie recognizes it immediately. "What's wrong, love?" Amelia shakes her head slightly. "No, it's just, I hear something in my head." Jamie smiles. "Music?" She looks up at him. And for the first time in a long time, Amelia says, "Yes, what do you think if I go back to the studio?" Jamie paused for a second. Then his smile widened like light. "I think it's time." But returning wasn't easy. That evening, after her father had fallen asleep, Amelia sat alone at the piano. She placed her hands on the keys, and pulled them back. Her heart was beating fast. She felt hesitancy, fear, pressure, the distance between mother and artist. She wondered, can I still do it? Am I still good enough? Does anyone still want to hear my music? Fear crept into her fingers. Jamie stepped into the room and leaned against the doorframe. He didn't say anything, just looked at Amelia in the dim yellow light of the living room. "Are you scared?" he asked softly. Amelia nodded. Jamie walked over, sat down next to her, and placed his hand on hers. "Music never left me. I just left it to love us." That sentence seemed to break Amelia. She buried her face in his shoulder, and for the first time, allowed herself to cry. Jamie became the safe space for Amelia to fly back to. They made plans as if they were preparing for a long and beautiful journey. Jamie talked to Amelia's old manager. Not to arrange a show, but to find her creative space again. Jamie helped her arrange her time. He said, "I'll take the kids to school. I'll clean the kitchen. I'll look after the youngest in the evening. You just need to write." Amelia looked at him in disbelief. "Are you sure?" Jamie smiled. "For you, I'm always sure." Jamie turned the living room into a studio. He set up the microphone, adjusted the sound, and added a small lamp for inspiration. Amelia walked in, surprised. "Jamie, you did all this for me?" Jamie kissed her forehead. "For you. And for your music. And for the artist I love." The first day back, full of trepidation, but also full of hope. Amelia sat at the piano, the room only dimly lit. The mic was on. The recording was ready. She put her hands on the keys. Jamie walked over from a distance, placing a cup of ginger tea beside her. "I'm here, I'm not going anywhere." Amelia took a deep breath. The old melody returned. And she began to play, slowly, cautiously, but still with feeling. One verse. Then two. Then three. When the piece ended, Amelia turned to Jamie. Jamie stood there, eyes red, trying to contain his emotions. "Oh my gosh, you're still as beautiful as the first day I heard you play." Amelia laughed. "You're biased." Jamie shook his head. "You're always like that." But the road back had its bad days. There were days when Amelia sat at the piano for hours without writing a single note. There were days when she opened the old files and felt like she was no longer the person who wrote those songs. There were days when the three children were tired and fussy, and she had to stop composing. And there were nights when she said to Jamie, "Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have come back." Jamie pulled her to his chest. "No one comes back strong right away. But everyone deserves to try." Amelia sighed. "I'm afraid of failure." Jamie kissed her hair. "If you fail, I'll be the first one there. And if you succeed, I'll be the first one to stand up and applaud." The turning point came from an unexpected question. One night, while Amelia was reviewing the recording, the middle child came into the room and tugged on her shirt. "What are you doing, Mom?" Amelia replied, "Mommy is trying to write music again." The little girl tilted her head. "Why haven't you written for so long?" Amelia was silent. And she said something that made Amelia cry. "Mommy does everything beautifully. Mommy plays music beautifully. Mommy is beautiful as a mother. Mommy is beautiful as a wife." Amelia hugged her child tightly, tears falling. Jamie stood outside the door, listening to the whole thing, and he had to turn away to hide his emotions. The first song in many years, and Jamie was the first to hear it. One night, when the house was asleep, Amelia sat down at the piano again. No pressure. No expectations. Just her heart. She wrote. She wrote quickly. She wrote as if the melody had been waiting for her all along. A song full of the breath of mature love. Tiredness. Perseverance. Nights. Children. The man standing behind. And herself, who found her voice. When she finished, Jamie came down the stairs, eyes half asleep. "What are you playing?" Amelia smiled. "My new song." Jamie sat down beside her. "Can I hear it again, from the beginning?" Amelia played again. Jamie didn't breathe throughout the song. When she finished the last note, Jamie put his hand on his heart. "Amelia, you've just rewritten yourself." The official recording day, and Jamie was the biggest fanboy. Amelia entered the small studio Jamie had built in the house. Jamie prepared everything. Microphone, light, water, tissues, because he knew Amelia was emotional. A small board that read, "You can do it." Amelia laughed when she saw the board. "Jamie, you're too sweet." Jamie winked. "You're trying to trick me into falling in love with you again." Amelia touched the board. "I've loved you for a long time." When the song was finished, Jamie cried in front of Amelia. Amelia listened to the recording again. She didn't speak, just cried, this time with pride. Jamie walked over, pulled up a chair behind her, put his arm around her shoulders. "You did it. I knew you could do it." Amelia leaned into him. "Without you, I wouldn't dare start." Jamie pressed his lips to her hair. "You don't need me to start. But I'm grateful to be with you." The music returned, and Amelia came back to herself. A few weeks later, Amelia finished the first track. She titled it, "Home in My Hands." When he showed the sheet music to Jamie, he asked, "Why that name?" Amelia looked at him, her eyes soft but strong. "Because where I belong is where you and the children are. And because your hand held me when I lost myself." Jamie hugged her, leaned down and whispered, "Thank you for coming back." Amelia replied softly, "Thank you for always believing." And so, an artist returns to music. A woman finds herself again. A wife loved properly. A mother deeply appreciated. All thanks to a man standing behind, quiet but steady.